Folks, if we could lose our salvation, we would. Justice is the righteous application of the law of God. Guilt comes from within. Shame comes from without. If a person doesn't love the church, they don't love Jesus. He is the sovereign of all sovereigns. He has all authority. If you deal with shame without guilt, your problem is the fear of man. We mustn't live like those with little faith who compromise for the sake of food and clothing. It has been said that as goes the family, so goes the world. It can also be said that as goes the father, so goes the family. The greatest source of security our children have in this world is a God-honoring, Christ-centered marriage between their parents. First, refusing to forgive is to put ourselves in the place of God, as though vengeance were our prerogative, not his. Second, unforgiveness says God's wrath is insufficient. Our goal as parents must not be limited by our own vision. The key is to understand that our children don't belong to us, they belong to God. There are some things a man simply must be before he is qualified to assume the role of a Christian husband. We cannot continue to send our children to Caesar for their education and be surprised when they come home as Romans. Discipling our children is not about teaching them to behave in a way that won't embarrass us. We're working towards something much more important than that. If you want to be a godly head of a family, you must ensure that there is Christian harmony among those under you, appropriate for a house where the leader fears God. Modern American dating is no more than glorified divorce practice. Young people are learning how to give themselves away in exclusive, romantic, highly committed, at times sexual relationships, only to break up and do it all over again. What we do matters, and not every job is a good job. If we refuse to forgive, we have stepped into dangerous waters. The center and the core of the gospel is what God has done, not what I have done. It has been said that as goes the family, so goes the world. It can also be said that as goes the father, so goes the family. It is one thing for me to claim that God has changed me. It is quite another for those around me to acknowledge that I have truly changed. The question is not whether or not our children sin later in life. The question is, do we have a biblical obligation to train them before they leave home? Finally, it is my prayer that these truths will cause men to seek reformation. Revival changes the affections, but reformation changes our course. If Psalm 1 is to be believed, we must not allow our children to stand, sit,